Hi, good evening. Welcome to see you. Nice to see you. Got that the wrong way around. Cracking up already, and I've only just bloody started. So let's have a look and see what we've got. So, evening, Kelsey, love. Gilly, good evening. Paul, good evening. Noxie, Jeff. Wow, we got a few in tonight. What? Does somebody know more than me or what? Nah, that can't be true. That's a silly statement, isn't it? Somebody knowing more than me. But anyway, I've had a chat with the young man today. Had like half an hour's chat, and seems to be in good form. And I also had a visit on. Went to see him on Friday, and when I don't know if anybody's been, but when you go in and you have to show your ID, and the young lady said, "Oh, have you been before?" I said, "No, not this one." She said, "Oh, well, next time when you go." I said, "It won't be next time." I don't intend going again. There's only days to do or getting fuel. We must be in 30s or very, very low 40s now. Can't be far off. Somebody will tell me because everybody else seems to know and I don't. Well, I do, but I can't remember. So there you go. Anyway, he's doing okay. It was on top form on Friday. We had a good couple of hours chat about what's coming up and what we hope to be doing. Or, well, when I say we, I mean him, not me. There you go, 33, Noxie says. So it's nearly less than a month. Depends which month, I suppose, doesn't it? Yeah. But yeah, nearly less than a month. So yeah, like I say, we had a good chat and see what his ideas were and what he's got planned and all those type of things. And I don't know if anybody came in on Friday night. I did a live on Friday with some of his music, and if you did watch, you'll have noticed that Mr. Thicko here forgot to turn his mic on, so I was miming, I think. So there you go. And then once I'd finished and looked at it again, and I thought, well, I've done really well there, because not only did I forget to turn my mic off, but I played the wrong video. So I had already, the one I played on Friday it was already on the channel. Anyway, I found another one, so I might do another one on Friday, or depends what day it is, really. Depends what's happening in my life. That sounds whatever. What's happening in my life? Nothing. Yeah, so Sharon, good evening, love. Hope everything's all right with you. 33 is how old he was when we met. Oh, there you go. Yes, Jeff. Does that mean me? Apart from that, it was seamless. It was really an hour and 5 minutes a total. I nearly swore then. Bobby's not in, is he? Oh, that's all right, because he tells me off when I swear. So, hope everybody's fine, good, and fit. It's not been a bad day today. I watched a bit of golf early on, and I actually watched the last bit of Liverpool playing Crystal Palace and getting slugged. But yeah, I'd rather have Crystal Palace winning than Liverpool, quite honestly. But yeah, so it's another afternoon of sport, again, that seems to be my whole life, doesn't it? Every time I come on, I've been watching. I've been watching sport. It doesn't make any difference, Dom, whether it's hot or cold. I'm a bloody troglodyte, mate. It can be as hot as it wants out there, because being a troglodyte, you don't go out. Well, it's not very often I go out anyway. So I am sat trying to think of things to do, you know, to I don't know what the word is, but I am thinking of it. And so the honest truth. Is the honest truth Bobby? Because he keeps changing his thing, doesn't he? The honest truth. Anyway, so there you go. I've totally forgotten what I was doing. Saying that, I did a little thing earlier on, and I was reading a thing in the paper early on, and this song popped into my head. So I thought, oh, that's just ideal. So I made a little 30-second short. I think that's what you call them, a little 30-second short. And put it up on Scotch Egg channel. And I thought 30 seconds, well, it won't take long for him to go through all the rubbish they have to go through before they release it. But 30 seconds, it's taken all afternoon. But if anybody wants to listen, there's a little thing there. Don't know what you call that. Whatever that is down there on your thing, that goes to it. It's not spectacular, but I think you might appreciate the song. I did. So there you go. I do keep thinking of a few little things that I can put on his feed and try to make it so if anybody's watching who doesn't approve because he's still incarcerated, to try and show that it's not him that's doing it. If that makes sense, it makes sense in it up here. Everything makes sense up here. So there you go. So Bobby, have you changed? Is that a different channel or not? I don't know. It puts me off sometimes when I see different names. Yeah, Noxie. That's not a very nice thing to say, is it? Yeah. I've always liked that song since I was young. I think I was a little bit old when I heard it. I wasn't young. So there you go. So where am I going with this? Because I've totally lost the plot. Let's have a look. Yeah, but Bobby, you're getting what's all these hearty things, and you're getting a little bit thing. That's it. Tie your yellow ribbon. And I don't know why it just came in. I was reading something in a rag we get occasionally through the door, and and that song popped in my head, and I thought, well, you know, the first few words of that song are quite good. So tying the yellow ribbon round the old oak tree don't mean knack all. It was the bit at the beginning that I thought, well, that's just right. So Noxie, is Bibby in, or are you calling me gay? It's a long time since I've been called that, I can tell you. I think I've got wrong glasses on. I think I have. I can see myself okay, but I can't see the writing. So, yeah, where was I? Oh, I was saying, is Bibby in somewhere, but probably not. Anyway, on the Friday afternoon, I sat chatting to. Oh, right. Okay, Noxie, I get it now. You know, it's because I'm not with it, am I? I'm a little bit slow, to say the least. Yeah, Friday afternoon, I sat talking to Levi, as you do, having a chat. And it came to my attention that there was somebody else in there who I should have known. It wasn't an inmate, it was a visitor. And I should have known who it was because I've had a bit of grief off her a few times. But she ignored. I don't know if she recognised me. She must have recognised me because I had Scotch egg thing on, you know. I'd forgotten what these are called now, you see. Yeah, Noxie. Yeah, can't. Again, so it's put me off. I've gone on a different tangent now. I've gone over there somewhere where I was over here, and now I'm over there, and now I can see that I haven't buttoned my top up, have I? You know, can't be not fit to be let out. Really, can't bloody dress myself properly now. That's probably because I've got what I call Mary Berry hands because I can't straighten my fingers on this hand, and they're gradually going round. You know, like I don't know if you've seen it, but Mary Berry's hands are like, I don't know how she manages to bake and cook and all that with her hands like they are. They're like shovels, back to front, like thing. Noxie, how did you know that's who it was? Because I'm sure I didn't mention a name, and I have had grief of quite a few gobby women, if that's the right term. Well, that's the term I'm going to use anyway. Gobby women. You'll have to forgive me because I'm going to have a drink. I've got a bit of a thirst on today. Yeah, I'm not, as Dom, I'm not going to go to the doctors with my hands. I'm really not. I can live with it because I just have this vision of them knacking it up completely and won't be able to. Right, okay, Noxie, I've got it now. I can live with having a funny hand. Right hand's all right, just can't grip properly, and it's only I'm right-handed, so I'm not missing anything, am I? Because I think I've been to enough quacks this year. Been going since January, and I'll just live with it, quite honestly. And like I say, I'm right-handed, so it's not it's not knacking anything up. It's a little bit more difficult to type, but saying that, I only used to type with one hand anyway. I can't do all this, fast stuff. And you'd think I would be able to, wouldn't you? I've been on computers since year dot, really. Trying to remember what my first computer was, but it was a long, long time ago. A VIC 20, that's what it was. Well, Benefit Britain, right, 33 days. You've been in before, or are you new? But whether you're new or whether you've been in before, it's nice to see you. It's nice to see different people coming in, and as you can see from the stream, we don't have a go at each other, or I might lose the plot sometimes and swear and curse and whatever, but it's all it's what they call banter, but it isn't really. I mean every word I say. Yeah, VIC 20, that was it. Couldn't do knack all with it. But yeah, it was big, and it had them bloody great big disc things. I bet I'm saying that, and nobody will know what I'm talking about, because back in the day, when they were like a 7-inch record, and it would hold about 2 lines of information, and then you had to put another bugger in. I didn't get a BBC computer, quite honestly. I don't know why, because their computers apparently were really good, but I didn't get one. And I think the next thing I went on to that Alan Sugar shit. I forgot what is this called, Amstrad. Yeah, 5 1/4 disc. There you go. So it's like a single record used to be. Yeah, Jeff, floppy disks. But when you got to Alan Sugar's stuff, it was a small disc in a plastic case. So, and I can, how funny it is. I can remember the first time I bought a PC that came with no software on, no forgot what you call it now. They didn't have anything on. You turn it on, nothing happened. And I bought Microsoft DOS 1. The operating system, there you go. Disk operating system 1. And it come on 6 discs, 6 of these little discs to put your software on. And then I can't remember which was the next operating system. I kept upgrading the Microsoft operating system, and I can't remember which number it was, but on the last one I upgraded that used floppy disks. There was 28 floppy disks that you had to load to get it to work. So there you go. Nowadays, you just click a download and it's done. It's loaded in 2 minutes. It used to take all bloody day. Hi, Clary. So yeah, that's the that's back in the day, really, when I first started on computers. So I've been on computers ever since. I'm trying to remember what year I bought the VIC 20, because that's from the VIC 20. I was never without a computer, and I never have been without a computer ever since. But I can't remember. I'm trying to remember where I was when I bought it. Let me think. Get me thinking head on. See if I can come up with the idea. Oh, I was in Morley. And thanks, Larry. I feel well as well. Thank you. Yeah, I was in Morley. I had a pub in Morley, and I can't remember what it was called. It was right in the centre. It was right in the centre of Morley at the crossroads. And so when was that? 1978, I think, 79. Yeah, I didn't, Jeff, I didn't go on a Spectrum. I've never had a Spectrum. I've basically stayed, as I said, I started with the VIC 20, then went on to Amstrad shit, and they kept upgrading theirs. And then I went on to building my own. So there you go. So Rat Girl said nothing to me. She just ignored me, basically. But I ignored her as well. So, but I can tell you what, she's pug ugly. Because I'd never seen her. I'd seen a photograph, but photographs lie, don't they? But in real life, she's a pig. Jeff, you were 15. What, when you bought your Spectrum, was that? Yeah. So I was never into programming. You know, I couldn't get that in my head, this programming stuff. It just wasn't me. I could build them and I could, fix them and God knows what, but I couldn't get into all that writing code. And you don't have to write code nowadays, do you? You just ask ChatGPT to write you it and it writes you the code. So there you go. It's easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Anybody can do it nowadays. And you've just got to have the ideas and be able to tell ChatGPT what you actually want and explain what you want. So there you go. Yeah, I was talking to somebody this afternoon. I do somebody's family tree for them. On a Sunday afternoon, normally for about 3 or 4 hours. And I was speaking to him this afternoon on the phone, and someone came up and I said, "Oh, you've got my email address, haven't you?" And she said, "Yeah, I have, yeah." And it was about Microsoft Teams. That was it. She says, "I know how to use Microsoft Teams." So I said, "Well, yeah, if you do, that's fine. But you'll need my email address for Microsoft Teams." So I said, "Have you got my email address?" So she said, "Yeah, I've got, this is your address." I said, "No, that's not, that's a Gmail address you've got there. You need my Hotmail address." Anyway, I give her my Hotmail email address, and I said to her, how old do you think that email address is? So she said, I don't know. But so I said, well, one of the clues is it says hotmail.com. And you can't get I don't think you can get hotmail.com anymore. It's either hotmail.co.uk or France or whatever. But so it shows it's fairly old. So I said, well, have a guess. And I think she said 1995, I think she said. And I said, no, I got that email address in 1988. Just as Hotmail was starting to take over from the AOL system, you know, where it says, you've got mail. Yes. And saying that, I still use, lovely corned beef hash. You lucky one there. Get in. Oh, lovely. I love corned beef hash. But saying that, I had a couple of sandwiches last night. It was, funny enough, it was corned beef. Yeah, Jeff, AOL. And you know that there was a film, wasn't there, that used AOL, and I think it was called You've Got Mail, but I might be wrong. But anyway, and it was a woman who used to say, you've got mail. Well, I still use that on mine. Now I've still got the WAV file or MP3 or MP4, whatever it is. But when I get mail on my PC, it comes out with that voice. That really old fashioned voice. Yeah, you can't go wrong with corned beef hash. Did you make it your way? What a stupid statement. I was going to say, did you make it your way? But you will have done. But I mean, you won't have made it the way I said, I don't suppose, because mine's totally different than everybody else's. Yeah, AOL was all right, but you didn't get the whistles and flutes, did you? And that's what Microsoft man Billy Gates came up with, you know. The mouse and all that kind of crap, so you didn't have to start typing everything out and knowing all those things. You could use this, and once you got that, well, boom. So, but like I say, AOL was good because they used to have some really nice, catchy mail things, whereas on Microsoft's, you know, theirs are a bit crap, aren't they? Their tones or whatever you want to. I don't know what you don't call it tones, but it doesn't say in that sexy voice. Was it Meg Ryan who did that? I'll have to have a look now. When we finish, I'm going to have a look. Yeah, but I've never used Yahoo. I use Hotmail as my private account, and then I use a Gmail, and I use a Gmail as my basic account, basically, and I have 3, not pseudonyms, you can add. I can't remember what you call it, but I've got 3 email addresses on Gmail, but it all comes into one email box. And it's what I call my spam email. So if I go to, I don't know, I go to Morrison's and it says sign up, I sign up with one of my spam emails so that when they decide they're going to sell the bloody emails on, like all these big companies do, it all goes into the trash. So there you go. You don't need a bag of shit coming in. I don't get anything in my private account. There's no junk mail comes in my private account. All junk mail and all shite, and do you want to date a Ukrainian woman, or we've got women from Russia looking for love and all, all that kind of stuff. And spin the wheel, forgetting. I must get one of those every day. Something to do with gambling every bloody day. Do you know, Clary, I don't know how you get emails off him, because I send him emails and he never bloody answers me. Is that because he phones me up, because I think he phones you as well. Look at me. Do you know I feel like a scruff? What's that all about? Yeah, I've stopped decorating. I don't decorate anymore. I've got to that age where I can just do with how it is, and your stuff stays quite good nowadays, doesn't it? Because don't smoke in the house or out like that, so there's nothing to knack it all up. If that makes sense, I think it does. But saying that, when I used to smoke, I didn't smoke in the flat. I used to go outside for a cigarette, because I think when you sit in, and it's only because I was a smoker, but when you sit in and you smoke inside, you just tend to smoke more. If you have to get up off your backside and walk out the door and go outside and have a cigarette, and you don't smoke as much, do you? So it's that extra that extra chin I've got there. Got bloody gin on my brain. It's starting to go down. It's getting bigger, so I can't close my button now. That's what it is. That's my excuse, and I'm sticking with it. Plus the t-shirt. I think the t-shirt I've got on, I think it's about 20 years old. So make, do, and mend. I can't remember the last time I bought anything new to wear. Oh, I can. I bought. I went to Boise's and bought myself a pair of shoes about 7 months ago, just before end of the year last year. Not that I wear them out, because I don't go out. So yeah, Clary, exactly. Yeah, and of course you get a decent pair of shoes from Boise's for like $4.99. So if they only last 6 months, it's done, isn't it? It's now peanuts. So there. Yeah, double chin. I think I've got about 4 chins now. I don't know. It's oh, well done, Noxie. A year since your last cigarette. I'm saying that, I don't know how long. It won't be much longer than that I stopped. But saying that, I started smoking when I was 9 years old in Brid. And I think since then, up to last year, before I've actually given up. But before then, I think I'd stopped twice But really, you know, I could eat one now, thinking about it. If somebody said to me, "Here, have a cig," I'd just have it. Wouldn't make any difference. But you know, I think I'm quite. One wouldn't lead to another, if you see what I mean. And Dom, you know, I've got vapes, and if I go out, I don't take my vape with me 90% of the time. And so if I go out for the day, I don't have a vape. However, when I'm sat at home, I've got one on my desk, and it's there all the bloody time. And I think, you know, if I had to get up and go outside to have a puff on the vape, I think I'd give them up as well. So don't know. I think maybe because I'm getting a bit lazy in my old age. There you go. It hits us all at some point in our lives. We all get to that point where we can't be asked to do anything. For some, you know, it's like when they're about 16 or 17. Others, it's later in life. But I'm going to sneeze in a minute, and just to let you know that when I do sneeze, I normally sneeze 3 times. So if the sound goes off, you know my head's going to blow off, because I can feel it coming. But I don't know why I do, but when I sneeze, I always sneeze 3 times. And sometimes I try and hold it back, and it bloody gives me a headache. Anyway, folks, is anybody... I can't tell you anything about Mucky Box because she never spoke to me. And when we were at the railway station, she sat at the far end of the railway station, didn't come down to where I was sitting. Because if she had, I'd have had my camera there ready to snap a photograph, because it's what you do, doesn't it? Triple sneeze warning, yeah. Yeah, it might. I don't know what it is. I can just feel a sneeze coming on, but sometimes it comes on and goes. So yeah, Jeff, I haven't had one since I was a young boy, quite honestly. I don't know what Knox is on about, but must be something's happened. Yeah, so anybody want to know anything, or anybody else had corned beef hash since, what day are we on now? Sunday. So it was Monday night we were talking about corned beef hash, I think. I think it was Bobby's fault though. He got me onto it, didn't he? I think he went onto that to try and stop me swearing. Because that's what happens. I swear a bit sometimes. Yeah, so apparently we're going to have a heat wave for 3 days, and then it's going to piss it down for 2. So we might get enough. We might get enough water thrown at us to try and fill those reservoirs. Dom, I'm great, mate, now. My health's good, and except for this silly hand, but everything else is fine. And I've got no more hospital appointments coming up, as far as I'm aware. I do have a couple of results in the pipeline somewhere. But no news is good news, I suppose. So I'll just, yeah, Bibby was a bit, Bibby was getting a little bit, what's the word? Sickly or whatever, when we were talking about corned beef hash. And, I don't know why, because he'll have had it loads of times. Because, they eat crap down south, don't they? They ain't got the palate that we've got. Yeah, Gilly, he would. Well, anybody would, wouldn't they? I had, yeah, Clary. French Southerners, don't you love them? Love the French. Well, I like their toast. I think it's really nice. I don't know why they call it French toast, because I do it. Since there's a Frenchman comes in and does it for me, does it? Yeah, snail baguettes. Love it. Can't go wrong with snails. Not that I'd eat any, but I can honestly say it's something I've not had a go at. Oh, Gilly, I like scones. I think they're really nice. Now, may I ask, are they? Because everybody's idea of scones, again, it's like corned beef hash, isn't it? Everybody's idea of scones is different. Some put currants in, some don't, and some make milk scones and some make fruit scones, and a scone is a scone is a scone, really, or a scone. Depends where you come from, isn't it? Yeah, well, Dom, when you think about it, corned beef is just cold beef. So if you heat it up, it's the same. As long as you know the thing with corned beef hash is to try and get it so it doesn't mush. Mush. To try and keep it into the little squares, so it looks like cuts of meat rather than a mushy dinner. Because if it's done well, because of course you don't have to cook corned beef, do you? That's the thing. It doesn't need cooking. It only needs heating. So, you get all your other ingredients that you're going to put in, and your potatoes are already cooked before you dice them up for the size you want, and whatever else you put in, your onions and whatever. We all put different things in corned beef hash. So, and then you mix them all up, and then you add your best way to do for corned beef is to have it in the freezer for a while, so that when you come to cut it up, it stays in, it stays into those chunks that you cut it, cubes, that's the word. And mix it all in, and then whack it in the oven. It only needs 20 minutes. Wham bam, thank you, ma'am. There's a dinner. And it's easy peasy lemon squeezy, and it fills you up. It's only, lots of people, it's the thought of corned beef, and they say, oh, bloody corned beef. But yeah, it's like lots of things we were on about on Monday night, where you can feed lots of people for next to nought if you put your mind on it. And you know how to cook. That's the thing, innit? You've got to know how to basically cook. You know good you get. Yeah. If it, some people, if it isn't in a tin, they don't know how to use it. Or if it isn't frozen or from the cold counter or whatever, somebody else has made you it and you just heat it up in your newfangled air fryer thing or microwave thing or whatever you use. But the art of cooking is you just cook. And I've always thought when cooking that you can't, you look at recipes and all that kind of ooey booey stuff. Now I don't use recipes. Used to when I was training, when I was young, you had to use recipes. You had to get exactly, 4 ounces of this and 2 ounces of that. It had to be exact. But later on in life, recipes didn't mean a thing. It was a case of if you like to eat it, you can put it in with whatever you want, can't you? So if you like, I don't know, you like belly pork and beans and tomatoes and all those type of things. You just whack them all together, don't you? You make a meal of it. So it's what you like. It's not running from a menu. The only thing you need for a menu basically is to give you the steps on how to do it. You don't need it to tell you you've got to have this, that, and the other, But there you go. Bacon grill. Yeah. Bacon grill. And when you say bacon griddle, you mean one of those things that comes in a little frozen box, I suppose. So I'm lost here because peck. It's not a word I've heard, peck. So was peck chopped pork? If it wasn't corned beef, it was peck. Chopped pork, I suppose that means. It's not a thing I've heard of. Is that in a tin or is that from the cold counter or I don't know. I'll have to have a look. I'll be doing my my Morrison's order tomorrow online, and I'll type in peck and see what comes up. I've had a peck on the cheek, but I don't think that'll be what you mean. Yeah, bacon grill. Is that a bit like them turkey swizzler things, It's not ever seen bacon, really. Right, it might have been. I'll have a look anyway, Gilly, and see what it is. Because if you're saying it's good, I might just see if I can get some and give it a bit of a taste test. Because I might have eaten it before, but I might not. The name doesn't ring a bell. Oh, right, okay, so it's like Spam. Right. You see, so if it's like Spam, it could be Spam, because Spam isn't a food. It's a bit like, it is a food, but the name Spam is not definitive of that, if you know what I mean. Trying to think what you could call it, really. I bet you can see me bloody eyes going round like a fruit machine trying to think of this name I've got kicking around in my head. So if it's like Spam, I've probably eaten it then, Gilly, to tell you the truth. And Spam, I quite like Spam, quite honestly. But that's more from when I was a younger boy. Because, it was cheap. Don't know if it's cheap now, but it was bloody cheap when I was young. Dodgy pork. Sounds like you're talking about my ex-missus there, dodgy pork. Man, she was bloody dodgy. Yeah, so I can't give you an update on, as we're coming towards the end, I can't give you an update on Levi because there's nothing really to tell. You know, I had a good 2 hours chat with him on Friday and about half an hour chat tonight or late this afternoon. But it was just chatting about, you know, ideas and things that he's got in his head and how he's going to do stuff and what he's going to do. And, you know, that's as you do. Luncheon meat, that's the word, Jeff. Spam. Tom, good evening. You're late. Where you been? Yeah, Tom, we were just reminiscing about about corned beef hash again. So we had it on Monday, and now we've got it on bloody Sunday. So, and apparently, Gilly's made a load of scones for us all to go around and sample. Apparently, according to everybody else in the I do, Tom. I do that all the time, mate. That's why I've stopped eating before I come online, because if I eat, I drop asleep. Bit like Grandad off The Simpsons, you know, where he just sits there and he can be talking and all of a sudden he goes and he's gone for like 10 minutes and then he comes round again, doesn't realise he's been asleep. But I'm a bit like that. Right, so Gilly made 12 plain scones and 8 have gone. You got a big family. You know, I might make some scones myself tomorrow. I might not. I'm thinking of making a curry tomorrow, though. I've got some chicken thighs in, so I like a chicken curry now and again. So I might just make a chicken curry tomorrow. Now, saying that, it'd be such a big bloody pan. There'll be about 8 meals in it, so I'll have to freeze loads of them. Yeah, Tom, it does. Everything comes round it. I was talking to my sister the other day, and she was saying, you know, how you doing, and is everything all right, and all that kind of stuff. And I said, well, yeah, but I think I'm going through puberty again. Because I'm coming out in little spots all over. And I thought, you know, that happened when I was going through bloody puberty, and now it's happening again. So there you go. Something I don't want to go through is that, really, because I can't do with my voice dropping again. It's low enough as it is. But I hope you've had something nice for your dinner, Tom. That's all I can say. I was going to say I haven't eaten, but normally I only eat once a day, and I felt a bit peckish this morning. And basically, it's because I sat and watched lamb shanks. Love lamb shanks. Basically, but last night it was. I watched. I don't know if anybody's watched it, but I watched that Annika. I like that program. And then after Annika, what's his name came on? So it's filmed so bloody good, I can't remember the name of it. Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. That's him. But I can't remember the name of the film. But that came on last night. And I must have seen it 20 times. And I sat and watched it. And then afterwards I thought, oh, I haven't eaten. Oh, I'll leave it till I get up. So I had a fairly big breakfast this morning, which means I'm not that hungry now. So, Lethal Weapon. Was it Lethal Weapon? Is it Lethal Weapon? Well, anyway, he did 2 or 3 of them, didn't he? If that's the right one. It was on last night anyway. It'll be on again tomorrow night. And Die Hard, that's it, Clary. That's the one, Die Hard, where they nick all the gold from the middle of New York. Yeah. I sat and watched that. Yeah, it was Die Hard. Now you see, when you mention stuff, it triggers this grey matter in here. It triggers it. It's like some people will put in a comment and it triggers with something in my head and it'll bring back a memory. Yeah, spam pritters. Oh, I haven't had spam pritters for years. We used to do spam pritters when I was in the forces. They were quite, I don't know what you call it really. Spam pritters, yeah. It was it was a way to make stuff go further, wasn't it? But yeah, I like spam sandwiches. I think they're quite nice. I don't think, do you know, Dom, I don't think I could afford to go to the chippy, quite honestly. I think it would take more than half my bloody pension to go to the chippy. Because it ain't cheap, is it? Fish and chips is not a cheap meal anymore, and it used to be. But there's me saying silly stuff like that, and everything used to be cheap at some time in my life. It just seems silly money nowadays for everything. I think some people just say, oh, well, it was £1.50 in 1990. It should be £8.10 now. We'll make it a tenner. So I think they just make the numbers up. Half of them just come up with a figure and bump. Yes. See you, Clary. Take care. You don't have to treat me to fish and chips, I can tell you. Beamish, though, that's another. I would like to go to Beamish, I think. There's one. I was going to say there's a similar thing down in Derby Way or that area somewhere down there. Yeah, Tom, you're not right, man. You're not wrong. Everybody fishes in our waters, and then we don't. But I don't know if anybody watches what do you call it on a Sunday tea time, Farmers Weekly or whatever it's called, Farming Daily or Farming Program on a Sunday, and they were on about kippers, and I seem to recall that during the conversation, this guy who's the 4th generation of a kipper smoker was on about how the kippers used to start up in Scotland and worked their way down the coast. And then as they got past Scarborough Way, they weren't that good, because that's when they started to spawn and all that thing. So the best kippers were further up the coast. And he said back in the day, with what used to happen, they used to have, because it's seasonal, I think, he said, and they used to have women coming from Scotland following the they weren't kippers, the herrings, aren't they? Following the herring fleets down the coast, doing the fish ready for kippers, and they used to come down. And he's the basic of the thing was, he said, between Scotland and I don't know, the Thames, I think he said, it might not have been quite that south of Thames, but he said there was something like 30,000 boats on the east coast catching herrings. So you can see, if there's that many bloody boats catching all these fish, you can see why we ain't bleeding got any left. But there you go. Yes, Kels, kippers are smoked herrings. There you go. I like a kipper. I think they're really nice. But nowadays, these kippers you get in the supermarkets and places like that are, all packed up and thinged and a boil in a bag that doesn't smell and all that kind of crap. They're not really the real McCoy, if you know what I mean. If you go up, and I think there's one up just north of Scarborough Way, could be Whitby, has a big, has a smokehouse there, and you can see the difference when you go and get fresh kippers from them and then go to the supermarket and see what they sell you in a supermarket. Totally different. It's a bit like you might call it yellow fish, but it's smoked haddock. Well, it's really difficult to find smoked haddock. You can go into Morrison's fish aisle or whatever, and it says smoked haddock. Well, it's not smoked haddock. It's been painted with yellow shit and give it a bit of smoky taste. It's not been smoked. So, do you know, Jeff, I don't really know why kippers are eaten in pairs, but yeah, Dom, he was not long ago, I think, was that guy in Whitby. Anyway, folks, let's Noxie, I really don't want to know, thank you. On that note, I'm going to say thanks for turning up, and thanks, Tom, for finally waking up and getting here. and yes, you're right, they are chemically dyed and flavoured in the supermarkets. It's never seen a smoke room at all. And there you go. So it's live long and prosper. Take care. I've enjoyed the hour. It's gone really fast. And don't forget, down below, you can leave a yes or a no. It doesn't matter. You're not going to hurt my feelings if you leave a no. And, have a comment. I do read the comments and I answer them most times. But there you go. Have a good night, a good week, and might see you on Friday with some more music. If not, I'll see you. Oh, no, tomorrow night, me and Bobby. Tomorrow night, 7 o'clock, same channel. Take care.